marketing channels we're going to talk about in this module is Bandit Signs. So a lot of the other marketing examples and strategies we just gave you was you going out to find the deal. And with Bandit Signs, you're going to do the work up front and the deals are going to come to you. So that's what I love about Bandit Signs. They do work. They do work.
Yeah, it's a great way to pull those off-market deals. And off-market deals are the deals that you want because no one else has their eyes on the home besides you.
Exactly, exactly. So for those of you guys that are new to investing and have never put out Bandit Signs, they look something like this. You put them on the side of the road. The ones that we use say we buy mobile homes or cash for mobile homes. And you put them on the side. People call them. Surprisingly, before I got started, I was like, no way, people are not calling those signs, but we were getting a ton of calls from them. So we want to walk you through the steps that we've learned over the years. We've put out hundreds and thousands of Bandit Signs. We've put out so many, but that's because they work, and they're such a great way to get off-market deals. This is something that I highly, highly, highly recommend that you do. And you know, I'm also going to give you some tips on how to outsource this as well. So step one, you have to order the signs. So I recommend that you call a few sign shops in your area, ask them for pricing. We were able to connect with someone locally. If you're in Phoenix, we can definitely give you that connection. But we were able to connect with someone that gave us a pretty good deal on signs and print them. And it was just good to build that relationship. So I would recommend doing that. It's even easier and faster than ordering it online. But when we first got started, we worked with dirt cheap signs. And I'm going to kind of just show you really quick their website. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to order yard signs. And let me go through exactly what you want to order, and then we can browse on the site a little bit. You want to order yellow or white yard signs, 12 by 18 with vertical flutes. We like yellow. I think yellow stands out a little bit more, but white is okay too. We've used white and they still get a great response. So you want to order on congregated plastic, I think is what it's called, or corrugated plastic. So that way they withstand the rain and storm and whatnot. You also going to need the H stakes. So in the previous slide, I showed you guys kind of what the Bandit sign is. The H stakes are how they actually go into the ground. We use 15-inch H stakes. You can always do the bigger ones and cut them in half to save a little bit of money, but it depends on how much work you want to do. You can handwrite them with a Sharpie, one of those thick Sharpies, or you can pay extra for them to already be printed with the We Buy Mobile Homes and the phone number on them. Again, use your Google Voice number until you get more advanced systems, but don't put your own cell phone number on there. I don't recommend that. Use the Google Voice number we told you about earlier. And sometimes it's easier to pay for, it's not super expensive to pay for printing. It might be worth a little bit extra to save you some time. On dirt cheap signs, signs are about, for 100 signs with printing, they're about $166. The more you order, the cheaper it is going to be per sign. But with dirt cheap signs, you also have to pay the shipping costs. So about $1.66 plus shipping. So I would say, try to keep it under $2 a sign if possible. I believe with dirt cheap signs, you can do that. So you don't want to spend too much per sign, but they're really important. So it's worth the investment. Okay, so once you have your signs and you've got them ordered and you've got all that done, the second thing you're going to do is create a route. And so that's why the park list we've been telling you about is so important. You're going to start with that. You're going to build a park list, or you're going to look at your park list and you're going to start with parks closest to your home. And I'm going to open up the park list again, just so we have that. And then you are going to use a route creator tool to find the fastest route to each park. So if you just go off of randomly going park to park, you're going to waste so much time in traffic. It's not really.
Guys, I'm just going to put a quick pause in this right quick. This is very important because there's a lot of driving that comes with mobile home investing when you're just starting out. If you don't take this serious, it's not just time, it's the energy. You'll exhaust yourself just trying to get from park to park. So please do this. It saves you time. It saves you energy. just makes life a lot easier.
Definitely. So I'm going to do a demo on Route Excel. That's the route finder we've been using, but there's plenty of them online. A lot of them are free. So do what works easiest and best for you. And then step 3, after you create your route, text it to yourself or email it to yourself so that on your phone you can click the address and it pops up in your GPS. So then you just have a list, you just click those links and it takes you to the next part. When you're driving, when you're putting out signs, the last thing you want to be thinking about is what's the next park, which one's closest. Get all of that done in advance. So we got the park list, and let's open up Route Excel. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to get to your park list and say these are the parks that you have. So you're going to just copy these addresses and you're going to come into Route Excel and you're just going to go into import and paste those addresses in there. And you're going to import them into your map. And so it takes a little bit for them to find all the destinations. You can only do up to 20 at a time. So it would be nice to be able to look at 100, but you've got to kind of shrink your list with this specific route finder. What you can also do is you can add your home address in there so that you start from home. Or if you can, the map, just start with the one closest to your home. So this one's the closest one to my home. So I'll start here, and this one's the furthest one from my home. So I'll finish here. And then, so you start, you finish, and then you just come down here and you click Find Route. And it's gonna find the route for us. And the shortest distance between them. So this is the shortest way to get to all of these different destinations. And then you are gonna go to addresses, and you're gonna copy them. And then you can just copy. This is the correct order to get to the fastest route. And then just copy this and email it to yourself, or copy it and text it to yourself, so that when you're out there with your signs, you're just clicking from one to the other. It makes it really fast and easy. It'll help even when you're outsourcing your Bandit signs. This is really, really important because the people that you're outsourcing them with are going to need to know kind of how to get to them.
Perfect. Let's get to the next one. So step 3, place the signs near mobile home parks. Let's get into this. So we like to place the signs on the weekends to avoid city officials. We love posting signs Friday night after 7 p.m. or Saturday before 8 a.m. So you gotta be a hustler. You gotta be a hustler, guys.
Yeah, and you want to avoid the city officials. They do not like these signs. I'm warning you guys now. They do not like the signs. They consider them litter and trash. And so they are going to throw your signs in the trash. So your signs are not going to last most likely past the weekend. They may last until mid next week. Actually, some of them, if you put them in the right place, they may last a month, but that's like rare. So just know the city officials are going to be a little bit aggressive about taking your signs up and throwing them in the trash.
Yeah, we like to post them after 7 p.m. because, again, you want to avoid all the traffic when you're out putting out the signs. You just want it to be kind of just you and a couple other cars on the road, not a ton of cars, because you want to do it in the least amount of time. The same thing is true for Saturday before 8 a.m. And by the time people wake up, people are waking up around 9:30 on the weekend, getting their day started probably around 10. Your signs are already going to be out there, and it's going to be the busiest time on the weekends because most of the people are off of work. And then again, use a route to drive to the mobile home parks and place near intersections closest to the park entrances. So what we like to do is whenever there is an entrance or exit of the park, regardless if that tenant drives left or drives right, we like them to be able to see our sign. So we'll put a Bandit sign at the closest stoplight or the closest stop sign on each side. And then do whatever you do, do not place signs on the park property. They hate that. You'll get calls from the park owner. They'll threaten to sue you. We've never been sued. When we first started, I think we got about 20 of these calls. Yeah, we were going a little too hard. But just make sure you're not placing them on the park property itself. And then you can also place signs at entrances and exits of grocery stores, shopping plazas and gas stations near mobile home parks. You want to get into the mind of a mobile home park tenant, and you just want to make sure you place signs everywhere they're going. You know, they need groceries, they need gas, they love to shop. Even restaurants, you know, they love McDonald's, they love Denny's and things of that nature. So you want to make sure that you have signs there so they're seen when they come out. Again, Walmart, Circle K, Fry's, dollar stores. These are all great places to put your signs.
Especially Walmart.
Yes.
We've been told many times that people have seen our signs there and called them. So, you know, there's a lot of people in Walmart that come. There's a lot of traffic there. They are going to pull your sign though, but see how long you can keep it up before they do.
And if you're in, let's just say you're in a big market like Phoenix and you're putting signs on one side of town and you have signs going on the other side of the town, and you want to know, hey, where are a majority of my leads coming from? It's no problem to use two different numbers on your Bandit signs just to make sure you can track them easier.
Yeah, definitely. And but initially use your Google Voice number. That'll be the easiest thing. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Putting out Bandit signs late Friday night and early Saturday morning is not fun. It's not. That's the work part we're talking about. But it's so necessary. But I want to give you some tips on outsourcing it because you can get burnt out pretty easily putting out Bandit signs every single weekend. We recommend that you place them yourself for the first month or so if possible. At least drive the routes that you're creating. You don't want to just give some person all these signs and have them just drive random routes. It's not as easy as you would think to outsource this position because it's work. And you have to drive and you have to be a little bit aware of where people are going, where are the mobile home parks. So try to do it yourself. Get the technique down first before you try to outsource it.
And one thing we failed to mention, you want to make sure that you're putting out 20 to 40 each and every week. Usually 20 to 40 is great because if you're putting out too many, you're kind of saturating the market. And that's what the city officials hate. And you're putting out 20 to 40, even 50. They don't mind that too much. They'll just pick them up by like Monday or Tuesday and throw them away. But you already got all your calls, so you're good to go.
Yeah. So yeah, try not to put more than 50 each week in one specific area. Try to move areas if you can, because if your signs just start piling up, you're going to start getting calls from the police and they're going to tell you to take them down. So we've gotten calls from the police. I'm not going to lie about it, but we've never gotten a fine or anything. They just say, please come take your signs down or we're going to pull them and throw them in the trash. So what you're going to want to do is post an ad on Craigslist or Facebook jobs for a sign placer. I can add in a actual ad for you guys that we've used. Basically, you're going to want to just, let them know they're only going to need it once a week and that they're going to be putting out 20 to 40 signs around mobile home parks. You're going to also, before you even post the ad, I would ask for referrals at those networking meetings that you're going to. A lot of other real estate investors, they use the same strategy, Bandit signs. So if you ask around, I'm sure you might be able to find someone that's already putting out signs. The issue with that is that most of the time they're putting out signs on every single stoplight. So they're just putting them out stoplight to stoplight. But that doesn't really work for our strategy because we want to get as close to the mobile home parks as possible. So you have to kind of work with those people and let them know what you're looking to do. And sometimes you have to pay a little bit more because they're actually having to drive to specific locations versus just going from stoplight to stoplight.
But again, just starting out, I would make sure to do it yourself. Always make sure that your signs are visible. You got to think about the person that's in the car driving near the sign. If it's just placed straight and they can't really see it while they're driving, you're not going to get the call. So make sure it's in their sight, their line of vision.
Yeah, the sign placement is very important. And, think about, okay, where are they actually going to stop? Are they going to stop at a stoplight nearby or a stop sign? Or can I put it across the street when they're leaving? They'll be able to see it. Just think about what a person in the car would do when they're leaving or coming into the park. Usually when we outsource, we're paying anywhere between $1.50 to $3 per sign for the placement. So that does almost double the cost of the sign. But, I believe it's worth it when you're getting those deals come in. It's worth that. And it's an investment. You're investing in your marketing. You're investing in your business. So If you don't want to do it, definitely try to negotiate with them, but just know that because they're doing something a little different, you're going to have to pay them a decent amount to actually be consistent. And then I recommend using an app we call Simple Crew for the tracking. So this app is super cool. It is $50 a month for 5 users. So just keep that in mind. That's an additional cost to it. But what happens is, and I put the link in here, let's see if they have like any type of like graph or chart. So basically, I guess this is the best thing that they have. So basically, whenever someone places a sign, they can take a picture of it and you can track it through this app on the GPS. So now you can see if they were supposed to place 50 signs, you can see 50 pictures in the app and you can see exact locations on where all 50 signs were placed. So you can rest assured that they're not just taking your signs and throwing them in the trash. I know we've hired people in the past that we've given them like 50 signs, and then we would have to go and drive the route, which takes more time out of your day to make sure that the signs were placed, and they didn't place them. So then you lost your signs and you wasted your time. So this app is really, really great. It helps you just save time. And before you pay them, you can check to make sure they're all placed out.
But again, when you're just starting out, we want to keep those expenses extremely low. So we highly recommend you putting out your own signs first until you get a few deals under your belt. Once you feel comfortable to delegate with the work and the funds that are needed, then we would say go ahead and go for it. But starting out, we want to keep those expenses very low if possible.
Yeah. So definitely once you're build up some momentum, or if you have the money to invest, outsourcing is great, but you want to do it yourself to just learn the whole process.